Hello, friends. I'm glad you're back. A lot of dietitians and coaches ask me about the somatic or the trauma integrated work that I do, and they want to jump in and they want to know all about that. And I think that's amazing. I'm so heartened to know that there are so many people who are starting to get that we can't just talk at the level of the cognitive brain. And let me talk a little bit about the brain because it's basically like in sections that do different things. So we know our amygdala. We've probably heard of that, which is this survival response part of our brain, so it's very primitive. It's like first online, and its job is to try to keep us safe if possible. So trying to assess threat level or not. And we all have it, and thank goodness we do. Without it, we would just be running out into the woods and not paying attention that there's snakes or bears and doing whatever, and not having our senses oriented to maybe what we can't see or hear, but we kind of can sense something's there. And so that system is working all the time, probably 24/7 when we're sleeping. And I don't know the research about if we're sleeping or not, how aware that is, but when we're awake, we are always autonomically taking in our environment and if it's okay or not. And that's something we'll be talking about in some of the somatic work that we do here at Embodied Dietitian. And the next part is our limbic system, which is our emotion center. And it is part of us being socially connected and being in a relationship, all that warm, gooey, juicy, good stuff that we use to build a relationship, which is part of what makes our non-diet weight inclusive work so powerful, is that we are going to be touching a lot of the limbic system, which helps our clients get the courage and the safety they need to make food changes in a very fat-phobic world. So hang on to this video as we talk more about how that works. And then lastly, we've got the cortex, the top part, and that's where we can do our math problems, and our the good stuff and the annoying stuff, like over rationalizing and black and white thinking. We do that there, but we can also do our problem solving and our ability to kind of maybe be more of an observer of our situation, which is vital if you're going to be an attuned leader. So I want to talk a little bit about, people sometimes think that somatic work is all about tricks and tips and tools, and I do have a lot of those in terms of helping the body get what it needs to complete enough safety to be able to know what you need and how hungry and full you are and what's pleasurable, and to be able to get it from the store and cook it and get it to the table, and to be able to ingest it normally, and then to be able to fully digest. All safety needs to happen at all those levels for that to be normative. So we're going to get to the normative piece of eating here in a second. But also remember, part of somatic work is we are working on the social engagement system, again, the limbic system, and this autonomic part of our body, which is also the fight or flight response. So that involves understanding polyvagal theory. And real quickly, all that means is that the autonomic nervous system, what's mobilizing fight or flight, what our social engagement is, which is our ventral vagal. And again, in all the trainings coming up, if you stick around with me here long enough in Embodied Dietitian, you'll learn all about that stuff. And then the other part is where we can't access our ventral vagal. We don't know how to be connected in a relationship or feel safe doing it or trust anybody or anything. So maybe we're in fight or flight for a while and that doesn't work and we shut down. And that's going to be our dorsal vagal. When we're in our sympathetic and when we're in dorsal vagal, digestion's not that great. We're not that physically connected, either above or below that window. And that's where you're going to see a lot of our diet culture behaviors and a lot of our eating disorder behaviors. And our job as somatically trained, not just informed, but eventually integrated. It's like a 3-step process. You can be somatically informed or trauma informed. You can have the middle step of a lot of training and still working on it, and eventually integrated that you understand the dynamics. And so, here, this is going to be your one of your biggest learning curves of your life as a nutrition non-diet professional, but it's worth the time, worth the effort, worth the learning, is that like it's all a spectrum where we're all still learning and we're all taking our own wisdom and adding it and taking other pieces and taking what works and leave the rest for our practices. So that's something I want you to remember here too, is that there's not one right way, but there are some safe ways. And that's what I want to teach you here with the food. So for our clients to have normative eating, social engagement system, what we do here in our work is so vital, is that the relationship is what's really healing. Remember, sometimes that hour-long session with you a week is the only time that your clients feel like I can learn to kind of rest and then eventually really rest in safe company and be heard and seen with no judgment and learn self-compassion, which creates healthy attachment. And most clients, most people are on the spectrum of how securely attached they are, if not securely attached at all. Most of our clients are going to have either avoidant or ambivalent or disorganized attachments, and all these things happen in the early years. And then it's almost like, well, of course, they were going to struggle with food at some point, or some kind of defensive strategy to either get attachment or to push away what doesn't feel good. And that's going to come out through all these different disordered eating and diet culture behaviors. So anyway, our job here as we learn to be more embodied, not just dietitians, but embodied people and coaches, whatever, is that we help our clients build their social engagement system, have good attachment. If they got some sensory work that needs to be done, we help them find the right people, the sort of resources for that, and our attuned eating work with them, helping them by doing these things and then providing them with the containment they need, the problem solving they need, the radical compassion they need. Then we'll see normative eating. And that's my goal here with the videos I put out and other materials, and just this connection that I have with you over on the Decoding Food and Body Talk Facebook group, is that we can go and talk about all these things and get clear. So I hope this video series really helped you understand like what's possible as an embodied practitioner and the things that we will be talking about here, so you know what to expect and you know what to ask me questions on, because that's what I'll be here to help you with. So thank you all so much for watching, and take really good care. Bye for now.